separate stories, intrinsically woven. 4 stories pan out, each 4 chosen for a particular reason, to give us a subtle message in this festive old season. We'll start with a guy called Zach, and he's a priest. Not the biggest cast and nativity character to say the least, but he's there. See, him and his wife Liz are righteous and fair. Totally content in life, except for one thing. See, Liz and Zach, they couldn't have offspring. And at this point in the story, the thought of conception, with the body clock against them, it was just out of the question. But one day, Zach's in the temple when an angel makes an entrance just to the right of the burning incense. The angel says to Zach, "Don't be afraid. Your Father in heaven has heard the prayer that you've prayed. Start kitting out the spare room and make it a nursery. Get carving the cradle because you're having a baby. For what's unearthed in Jesus' birth holds for all eternal worth." Next, the most sought after word in the Nativity is Liz's cousin, and her name is Mary. She receives an unexpected angelic meeting and receives an unexpected angelic greeting. And the angel Gabriel appears and catches her off guard. But don't be afraid, he says, don't be alarmed. So bowled over is Mary by this angelic visit. She learns that she's going to give birth to God's Son through the Spirit. For what's unearthed in Jesus' birth holds for all eternal worth. With his other half pregnant, Joe's calling off the wedding. He thinks the love of his life has been in someone else's bedding. But he doesn't flip out, he doesn't cause a riot. Joe decides it's best to do the dumping on the quiet. But then a message in a dream would change the rest of his life. The angel says, "Don't be afraid of taking Mary as your wife. For what's unearthed in Jesus' birth holds for all eternal worth." A hilly turf, a sheep and their shear. The shepherd looks up and sees an angel appear. The shepherds are stunned from the shock, but they're still conscious. The angel says, "It's all right. There's no need to get anxious. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. The king is born in the stable with hay as his bed. For what's unearthed in Jesus' birth holds for all eternal worth." 4 separate stories with the same phrase laid. A message from God. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Easy to say, not always easy to be. Especially when we're surrounded by pain on hashtag or TV. Because it's not easy in a world where brokenness has thrived. But the truth is, love came to town when a certain baby arrived. "Do not be afraid" is the softly spoken sentence behind the scenes of the Nativity. Do not be afraid, for the birth of God's Son would break the chains of captivity. He came to restore a relationship that in Eden was once frayed, and the arrival of God's Son speaks the 4 words, "Do not be